Yeah, I think BES-Net Trialogue is one of the good practices of what we call the whole of society approach that again has been underscored by Section C of the Common Biodiversity Framework. And why do I say like whole of government, whole of society approach? Because this trialogue bring diverse stakeholders. It bring all the representation together. So we have the representation from the policymakers. We have the scientists, like lead scientists working on different thematic area. In this case, for example, invasive variant species and also sustainable use. Also, we have the indigenous and local knowledge holders that are participating, and other members of the practice community. So the trialogue approach, because it provides this constructive process, is not just the scientists, telling the policymakers of the community on their findings, or the policymaker disseminating their policy, but they are working together toward a common cause. So they are working together to create a concrete action together on an equal footing. And it's elaborate what I was talking much earlier about understanding the imbalance, because not in most cases that the government and the community members in a sitting environment, they have an equal space, because again, we have to acknowledge the different power imbalance, especially when they come to the to the different position that we have in our society. So the trialogue bring that sort of equality platform, so that everyone has an equal voice to contribute regardless of your your status, and your ideas and perspective are equally valid into this process. But because again I'm supporting the indigenous and local knowledge component, allow me to underscore the importance of the scientists again working together with the indigenous and local knowledge community holders, because in most cases we are used like, okay, when they're interacting, they're mostly interacting at the data collection phase. Okay, we want to study this, what is the best practices? But in this trialogue process, they're working together. Okay, from your scientific perspective and from my indigenous knowledge perspective, how can we support our country? How can we support our region, to be able to control invasive variant species that we have? How can we put our best practices together to enhance sustainable management and use of wild species together? So it's sort of like equalize a platform, which I think is like really valuable process. And as UNESCO supporting the indigenous and local knowledge component, we feel very honored to be part of this trialogue process.